There's not so many of them. Most of them are females, and they're in the herd. The females never wander off by themselves. It's only these single males. Now you can see his ribs. He's actually pretty skinny right now. You can see his bones. But they are being fed with that seedless hay, and they are being watered. They get these big tubs of water. He's not that old because as he gets older, his horns get darker and darker.
Wow. Beautiful.
You see, he is tagged.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, good. Thank you for reminding me. Back in 1924, there was a movie crew that came here to film a movie called The Vanishing American. The Vanishing American was a Zane Grey novel, and it was being adapted into a movie as his novels that he wrote, 90 some novels, became over 350 movies and TV shows over the years. So a lot of movie stars actually got their start in a Zane Grey novel. But this one was just one of the initial 1924 movies. There wasn't anybody very famous in it, but it was depicting the American Indians and their being exploited and killed. And they wanted, as the backdrop, 14 bison, which they brought over here, and they corralled them. And when they said roll them, they opened the corral, and those 14 bison went in 14 different directions. Never to be seen, never to be filmed. Well, the film crew packed it up and left after all the shooting and had to go to Mr. Wrigley and say, we have a bit of a problem. We lost the 14 bison. He thought about it and said, you know what, I think it'll probably add to tourism. Just go ahead and leave them. Then he further purchased another 100 and then another 150 till he nearly had 300. And then from that point on, the bison do what they did and do. They multiplied on their own till there were 600. By the mid-1970s, there were 600 bison, and this is when the Conservancy had taken over. In 1975, they started doing a lot of surveys saying how many animals can survive and be healthy on this island. They came up with the number 150 bison can survive here and remain healthy. So from that number of 600, they had to figure out how to whittle down that number to 150. They called the Lakota Sioux in South Dakota and said, would you be interested in having some bison? And of course they said yes. So the Lakota Sioux came over here. They had a big ceremony. They picked out 150 of the healthiest bison and carted them off to South Dakota to live on the Rosebud Reservation with the Lakota Sioux. Problem is, it was very, very expensive to do this, so they came up with the next solution, which was a human contraceptive. This human contraceptive wasn't fully effective in women, but in the bison it was very effective. It's called PZP. It's from pig's eggs. And they inject it using an air rifle into the females. The first year they had 11 bison. The next year they had 1, which they called Uno. Since then they have had 0. But they have recently just stopped the contraceptive, and they're hoping that they will start to multiply again. I think this year they've had a couple deaths. Yeah, from age and from dehydration and lack of food.